What's up, guys? It's day 175. I was feeling pretty good today, just a little bit sore in my elbow and sore like my shoulder. I did push-ups on Friday. Or was it Thursday? I don't remember. It might have been Thursday, but I had like DOMs like crazy. I did 5 sets of 15 push-ups, and I woke up with like my triceps, like my front shoulder, everything super sore, and I'm like, damn. But I mean, I don't know. I guess it is what it is. I just haven't done push-ups in a while, um, and I don't know. They're hard. Like I've always, I mean, I guess it depends on my form because I try to do like really good form, like maybe a bit slower than other people. I don't know, but I've always found them pretty hard. Even when I do them regularly, like 20 sets of 20 is always a good workout for me. So I don't know. I feel like some people think of push-ups as like not even really a workout, but I don't know. It's kind of hard for me. But anyways, I was a little bit sore, but like not really like in the major arm wrestling muscles, I guess. Just my elbow was sore from pulling Miguel Tuesday, and also like who else did I pull? But I pulled Tan, and I was like pressing and going inside and all this jazz, and especially pulling with Miguel is it's it's fun. Like I tell people that, or I was telling one guy who was like, or maybe I think no, it was Kyle. I remember who I said. Kyle, the guy who's like relatively new. He was talking about he doesn't go inside because of his elbow, and I was like, well, what you can do is just let up if you feel like it's too much. So, you always have that option. And I mean, that is somewhat true. I feel like if you're in a hook with someone, like you can sort of decide how hard you want to go. But obviously, it's hard to do it in practice because the other person like might ramp it up, or you can't control how the other person's pulling, and a lot of times like when you're in a spot, it's like you can't, I guess, like get out of there fast enough. I don't know, but I was thinking if you're in like a drag hook, like you can kind of decide how much you want to commit into that. But the biggest thing is that because once you start pulling, your ego won't let you do that, right? So that was my thought. But anyways, I was thinking when I pull Miguel, it's like I don't even have that option. It's just kind of like it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. Like once he presses, it's like I'm in it. Like I can either try to catch it or give up. But if I try to catch it, it's like I can't really like decide how much I want to like put into it. I feel like it just goes through my elbow, and then it happens. Like whatever happens. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's good. Like, and it's really fun, honestly, because like with most people, I kind of can tell what's going to happen already. But I feel like a lot of times I really don't know. And I feel like it's good. Like it makes me feel a little bit alive, like arm wrestling. So I guess that's fun, but it also fucks my elbow a little bit. But not like seriously. I get like little aches all the time, so it's not a big deal or anything. But anyways, I was pulling, but I didn't want to pull much today or I guess I was thinking I shouldn't pull at all because I'm on pull next weekend. But I figured I would pull a little bit if I'm going there anyways. And it was good. Like I didn't think I did anything damaging except this one pull I had with Brendan. I think I might have just passed on the screen, but where he pressed me and I should have let it go, but like my ego kicked in. I really got annoyed about the idea of losing like that, so I just held in, and that was feeling a little rough. But hopefully in a week's time it'll be fine. Like I mean, even if it's not fine, I just need to pull like 3 good pulls, take some Advil. So it is what it is. And Paul came back, so I have some footage of Paul pulling me and pulling Jason. And he told me about this exercise where you like straighten your arm and then at your side, and then like pull it back. Pull it back like imagine your hand is like a clock hand, and then you just kind of rotate it back. from your shoulder, like your arm is straight with a weight. But apparently that's like engaging your wrist extensors and elbow extensors, triceps somehow. But anyways, that was interesting, so I think I'll try that probably. What else? What do I want to talk about? I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, like there wasn't much that I like really crossed my mind while I was pulling about technique or anything like that, I think. I'm trying to make a video about advice for beginners because I've been meaning to make this for a long time. Because I feel like one is, I feel like it's the type of video that people want to see. Like that's probably like top 3 things people search about arm wrestling. And another is I feel like I have some very specific like pet peeves that I don't think a lot of people address, and I feel like a lot of the advice that people give is like not great. I don't know. And it kind of is like, it frustrates me when I see people with bad technique, and I feel like, bad technique in air quotes, but like, and people don't know how to correct it. Like people that are talking about it, like I guess I can just go into a little bit like this obsession with dragging your elbow back. Like I feel like dragging your elbow back is terrible for a beginner. And I can go into that in like way more detail, but so I tried to make a little video, and then I sort of didn't love some parts of it, and then I thought, I should try doing it again, but like really structure it and maybe add some like example clips of like what I think is bad and what's good, to just make it like a higher quality, which I don't ever do. Like everything I make is literally just a split clip and then paste. I don't really do any editing, so not that I'll have like fancy edits, but like just add clips and I guess like titles and stuff like that. I might try to do that. And it's definitely not going to get views, but I do need to start getting some views. I want to, because I just hit 500 subscribers. Congrats to me after 4 years and like 300 videos. And what I need is a watch time. So I had this one video that I made as a joke after Alexander pulled Devin and was like almost pinning him. I was like, oh, what if I made a video where I have all of Devin's left matches in his career? Well, not all, but like the idea that was going through my head. And then at the end, I put Alex, and then Devin's matches get like progressively higher level, sort of. That was the idea, and I thought that would be really funny because it would just go from like a super high level guy to like Alexander almost beating him. So I just like thought it would be really funny, so I made like a meme video, and then that one got like 270,000 views because Devin's name was in it. So off that I had watch time for a while, and I was like, oh, getting the watch hours is not that hard, or I figure. And then a year passed since then that I have for the watch time, and now I'm like, I have like 900 out of 3,000 hours for the year. So it's like I need to basically get like 5 times a view, like watch time on each video, or I need to post double the amount I'm posting and then get like 3 times the watch time on each video. So it's probably hard, but like I feel like it would be fun because I really want to make a members only page and just post some stupid shit there. I already have a few clips that I feel like would be really funny, but I can't really post it completely open. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I need to do to get there. It might be impossible because I'm already so many videos that I don't know if the algorithm can like resuscitate my channel, but it would be nice if I could get the members page. I feel like that'd be pretty funny, but that's mostly it. I still don't really care about getting views or anything, but I am posting like slightly more frequently now. There was a time where I was like once or twice a month. Now I'm at least going twice a week for a few weeks now, so that's good. And I would like to film some of my workouts again too, because I feel like I want to show you guys like what I do now for rehab, like from start to finish, and at least for the first time it might be a little bit interesting to watch, and it's slightly different than all the other stuff that I used to do. So I'll do that soon, I think. And but yeah, like I was thinking for that beginners video, like if you have any ideas about that, I mean, I guess I'll explain what I think briefly here, and if you sort of disagree with me, you can put in the comments. But essentially, I feel like you can't drag your elbow back unless you have some level of control. And if you drag your elbow back without control, you end up because, okay, I guess it's hard to be brief about it, but basically the philosophy behind that is like, when you come to the front of the pad, you gain height, and usually height leads to a better position. So when you come to the front of the pad, you add to your position. And Jason told me that Devin described it as, when you come to the front of the pad, you create, and then you come to the back of the pad, you destroy. And the way I take that is, when you come to the back of the pad, you just destroy the other person's position because you disengage them from their power a little bit, right? So the way I think about it is like, you come to the front of the pad to add to your position, you come to the back to bring that over and attack. It's inherently is like a little bit of a offensive move, I feel like. So for beginners, a lot of times they don't have position and they drag back anyway. So what they end up losing is, they have no arm angle. They can't go inside. They can't go outside, because if you can't attack the other person's position if you don't have any control, right? So dragging back with no control, like where you're just rowing their elbow flexors, like that doesn't do anything. You might feel like you're doing something, but it's not. There's no path to victory there, right? So I want people to really focus and hone in on like that control aspect of it, where you're continually trying to focus on control, get your arm vertical higher, and work on getting position first. Because I think like once you have some position, then of course you can start dragging back, right? And it's like, oh yeah, like what about people that drag back and they're good arm wrestlers? Like, of course, like dragging back is super important, but I'm talking about, when people drag back and are successful, it's because they know that, they're good enough that, for example, if you're a top roller that drags to the back, from your experience that your pronation is going to come with you when you do that. And it helps maximize your use of that control by dragging back and disengaging your opponent a little bit, right? But the problem with beginners is that they don't have that. They don't know. They know actually that the pronation is not going to come with them, but they try anyways because they feel like, nothing else is working, which is totally makes sense. But I feel like we need to. The way I was thinking is, you need to be at the front of the pad. You need to be patient, and if you can't get your pronation at the center, which like happens a lot, and I think that's also why people drag back, is because they just feel stuck. And that being at the front doesn't necessarily gain your pronation. You just gotta lean to the side like Mindagas, and then just stay with that pronation. And I think all beginners should pull like this, and like dragging back is so harmful. And I feel like it's actually an overcorrection because, like complete newbies like pull, like leaned over, like if like 3 feet away from the table. In that case, of course, like you should bring your torso towards your elbow. But in most cases, like a lot of arm wrestlers don't like have their body super tight to the table or their elbow at the back. Like if you watch Brzenk setup, like there's a good gap between his upper arm and torso, like lat angle. So I just feel like there are some misconceptions that are hurtful. Like when you say you need to drag back, like all they're learning is to, worsen their position when they have no control. And I feel like it takes people a long time to get out of that. And it's like, I think you need to start at the front first, and I think you should always try to be getting vertical. And I think this would just fix everything. And also like making sure like you're applying pressure like through the opponent's fingers, like applying pressure from your hand coming to your own shoulder instead of like this idea also that back pressure, because the word back is used, means that you need to use your lat and drag back. And I mean, I was talking about this is like a whole like long, I guess, tangent, but I'm not saying there's no such thing as an ability to drag your elbow back, right? Like Derek Smith says, like, you know, what I think back pressure is to be able to bring your hand back, bring like your arm, like, or I should say, like, bring everything to the back of the back of the pad without losing your arm angle. And that's a good definition, and that's not necessarily just lat drag, right? And that's cool, but my problem is that's just simply more complex movement than what I'm describing, where I'm just talking about, and I call this up pressure, and a lot of other places call it up pressure instead of back pressure. And it can be two different things. I'm talking about the pressure of your hand coming towards your shoulder that's going through the opponent's fingers. If you want to consider back pressure as like your ability to do that and drag your elbow back, that's fine. But I'm talking about, but then that becomes like, there's a lot of factors that go into your ability to do that. It just isn't like a harder thing to like define, like, and like, I guess talk about, because it's just a little bit more complex than what I'm talking about. But anyways, I think people need to focus on that. And I guess the other thing beginners do is they just bring their arm like as close as they can. Like they just flex their arm, like forearm and upper arm into each other. And then they just kind of push to the side or like pull. But they need to learn to like actually have maximally engage their elbow flexion, which would not be pressing your forearm into your upper arm, and have that be constant. Because I think, and I watch old videos of mine, is like what I would do is I would rest in that, like my forearm touching like my brachioradialis touching my bicep, and then I would try top roll. I would open up, pull, come back, push, pull, and it's very like stunted, like it's not fluid. And the example I use is like, it's like a tug of war, but imagine that, you know, I don't know if you ever watched like a competitive tug of war, which is a thing. It's like, imagine if, you know, you're on the tug of war team, and instead of like, because they have like, they take turns basically attack and defend, and imagine like you start surging, you pull, and then instead of like defending when you can anymore as hard as you can, you just let up, pull, let up, pull, let up. Like that would be so stupid, right? Like you can never let up. You would lose so much ground. And it's the same thing in arm wrestling. It's just like to have that continually engage your elbow flexion as much as you can. And I think it's tricky because sometimes it looks the same, like if you're not engaging and you are engaging it. So I just have some ideas. Like another analogy that I always sort of, I feel like helped me visualize, it was like, you know, when you go to the gym and there's a pulley, and it's an adjustable pulley, and it's got one of those, like, I don't know what you call that, but on the pulley like rack you can adjust the height, right? And you can plug it into the different holes, and there's that little button that you pull out and then you can move it up and down. I feel like it's similar to that. It's like that pulling out that little knob is like your elbow flexion back pressure. It's like you have to be able to, you have to set that first before you go to the side, before you do anything, and you can't move around without that already engaged. So anyway, so this is just some of the things that I was talking about. But if you feel like you kind of get what I'm saying and then you still like disagree or have any thoughts, let me know. I mean, it'd be interesting to sort of hear other people's opinions too, because I don't want to make a video and then it's just completely wrong, or like no one else agrees with me. So, but I guess that's that. I mean, it's not too much to talk about. I mean, I'll probably pull maybe next Tuesday, make another video, check back in, maybe do a rehab day also, I can check back in. And then hopefully on Saturday I can go to the tournament, and hopefully Brown Rice does show up, because Miguel keeps telling me that I need to beat Brown Rice, which obviously, you know, I'm not really going in expecting to beat the guy, but he's told me people were coming to the tournaments and they have not shown up before, so hopefully he's actually there this time. But I'm looking forward to that, and I guess that's about it. Thanks.
Look at this guy, 3 sets of messing around.
Yeah. 3 sets of, we set up like this today.
It works. I don't care.
Strong. If you go there again, go to that spot again, I'll show you something. You're fought. You're fought. Yeah, that there. Keep pushing. Keep doing. You try to go this way, right? Yeah. Keep that. Keep that clean that way. Now. Keep push.
No, I gotta.
See how this
You look too strong, man.
right? Now watch, go that way.